Good morning. How are you guys doing? Can you hear me? Yay, excellent. How was everybody's weekend? Yay. Oh my gosh, Teresa, puppy is adorable. Okay, does anyone else have the problem where when your fingers are too cold, they won't work on your electronic devices? Yeah, I actually have that problem right now. So I have to go like this to make my fingers work. Anyone have that problem? It's a weird one for sure. My son just said he was concerned that I have that problem. But it's normal problem. So for me, and I got some hot cocoa right here. Nice. Haley, that sounds so fun. I'm going to put a warm up so you can get started on that while we're waiting for everybody else to get here. All right, so do those 3 problems while we're waiting for people to arrive. All right, so did you get all of those problems done? All three of them? The reason I reminded you of that first one is because when we're doing loans, we're going to need to be able to find percentages for things like down payments. Okay, and a down payment is an amount you put down before you finance. So for example, sometimes you might want a car loan, and let's say the car you want costs $20,000, but you have some money set aside. Well, let's say you want to put down 10%. Well, 10% of $20,000 is $2,000. So to figure out how much you finance, you would take 20,000 minus that 2,000, and you would only be financing $18,000. Does that make sense? All right. So that's what down payments are for. So I hope everybody had a nice weekend. I hope you got a lot of fun things that you got to do over the time. I went on a hike, a really nice hike just north of Tucson, which was very fun. And then my favorite tradition ever is, I want to share it with you now, is December 1st, because you could just start it too. It could be your new tradition, is on December 1st, we eat ice cream for breakfast. It's true. That's the start of Advent for us. We eat ice cream for breakfast every December 1st. So if you like that tradition, you could start. I already ordered my ice cream. I picked it up. I did a Target pickup. I got peppermint bark and ice cream, peppermint bark ice cream. And I got hot chocolate flavored ice cream. Nice. And I think we have some cookies and cream. And you're like, you have too much ice cream in your house. No, I have 6 people in my house. So that's a lot of ice cream, right? And I've done this since they were teeny. And yes, I sent my kids to school after eating ice cream for breakfast. I figured that was fine, right? It can't be worse than cereal. So anyway, if you like that, I do like chocolate ice cream, but it's called hot chocolate because it has marshmallows in it, I think. So that's why it's called hot chocolate flavored, because it has marshmallows in it, I think. I know, and then some of you are like, well, that's Rocky Road ice cream. I don't know, I just ordered it because it was a cute name. We were supposed to put up our Christmas decorations, but my husband had to go to work yesterday, which was annoying. And then all the kids just were lazy and were like, nah, we're good. So I put up, one of my sons put up the tree, and then I put up an advent calendar, and that's it. But we're going to put them up today. Today we're going to. Okay, so here is the answers to those warm-ups. Tell me if you got them all right. Give me a party hat, a thumbs up, a clapping hand, something. Nice. Excellent. Okay, any questions on these, especially number 1, where you had to multiply, or you could have done it differently. Did anybody do it differently than this? Or did everybody do it this way? Okay, another way to do it is you could set up a proportion. You don't have to. 5 over 100 equals something over 28,000. And then multiply these two, divide by this one, that works. I'm kind of a lazy percentage doer, so I did 10% of 28,000 and got 2,800. And then I took half of 2,800 and got 1,400. Because half of 10 is 5, that was just an easy shortcut way for me to do it. Okay? Any questions on this? Okay. I do have, it's Mindfulness Monday, but we don't have a Thunderbird Thursday this week. So I have a couple things to tell you. First of all, Mindfulness Monday, we are almost done. You have just over 2 weeks. You can do it, right? You can do it. Buckle down and get it done. I'm going to show you a calendar so you can see what I'm talking about. Let me show you this calendar. Look at that. There we go. Today is the 30th. We're doing loans. We're doing loans tomorrow. Then on Wednesday, we have a finance review. Actually, my embedded tutor is holding a review today and tomorrow, both from 2 to 3. So I'll put the links in Canvas, okay? Just before 2, I'll put them in Canvas. Thursday, we have our finance test or quiz. Then the following week, we're going to do dimensional analysis and proportional reasoning. Then notice you have a work day on Wednesday the 9th. You're just going to be able to work on your final project that whole day, which is only 50 minutes. So don't make that your only work day because you will not get it done, I promise. And then we start presentations on the 10th, and then we'll finish our presentations on the 14th at 11. So I don't think anyone in this class has sent me any information on their final project, but in my 9 o'clock class, a lot of people are already moving down the road with their projects. Okay. So if do you have a question, Joya?
Yeah, I was gonna ask where I was trying to find the information on it one day. Maybe I just didn't look hard enough, like, but I just didn't know
It
where it
should be
was.
its
So
own module. Let me
okay,
look right now.
okay,
Let me
so
look right now,
it's
but it
gonna be a
should be its
module.
own module in Canvas
Okay,
called Final Exam Presentation. I'm pulling it up now.
okay,
And I'm going to post that second part of the car project. I'll post that right after class. So then you can do that. Oh, yeah, you don't have it in here. I don't know where it is. That is weird. I'll put it in there immediately as soon as I get you working. You don't have to have a partner for your final project. Your final project can be alone, or you can work with someone else. It's up to you, and you pick that person. And yes, you have to show up on Monday for your final exam. Okay. Okay. So I'll get that put up ASAP. So I do want to show you, this was the review session I was talking to you about. There'll be review sessions for the finance test today and tomorrow from 2 to 3. The last thing I want to show you, and I'm just going to put the link in the chat for you, and I'll play just a tiny bit of the video, this is the new pathway planner that is available for MCC students. If you're new-ish to MCC, or if you at least have a couple semesters left, this is something you'll probably want to pay attention to. It's an awesome new feature that MCC students have the option of. I'm going to just share this and see if we can play it. I'll just play the very beginning of it. Oh, I forgot to say sound. Hold on. Okay. We'll see if it actually plays, but it's a new pathway planner.
The Pathway Planner is a new tool in your Student Center that allows you to view a pre-populated semester-by-semester course sequence based upon your academic plan with a Maricopa College. Students should use the Pathway Planner tool in collaboration with their academic advisor and degree progress report to ensure all degree requirements are met. Please note, not all plans may be available in the Pathway Planner tool. Official transcripts from institutions outside of the Maricopa colleges must be evaluated for courses to appear in the Pathway Planner. Well, let's get started. Navigating to the Pathway Planner. Log into your Student Center located at my.maricopa.edu using your MEID and password. Select Pathway Planner from the drop-down menu located under your academic history, then click the button. This is a snapshot of the Pathway Planner. A more detailed how-to reference guide can be found here.
If you've never heard of the Pathway Planner, it's pretty new, and I just wanted to make sure you're familiar with it. It is really important. If you're just starting out, it can really help you with your degree plan so you don't have any wasted courses and you're on track, especially right now when you know that spring's going to be online. You might want to change which classes you're taking in the spring and rearrange it, but you don't want that to make your degree program longer. Okay, so I hope that helps you see something, if you're in certain programs, you might have already met with an advisor and you already have a pathway map, but this is just an electronic way to do it. Okay. Loans. So on loans, they're a little bit different. Loan payments don't follow rounding rules. So you have to round up for the bank. So you have to round up to the next penny for payments, even on problems that don't follow the regular rounding rule. So for example, on the warm-up problem that was $879 and we rounded to 16 cents because the next digit was a 4, if that came up on your TVM solver or with your formula as your payment, you would change it to $879.17. And the reason you have to do that is because if you were shorted that cent, if you only paid 16 cents every time, by the time you get to the end of your loan, you would still need some money. You would still owe some extra money. So this way we make sure that your payment works, okay? So that's only on loan payments, okay? Only on loan payments do you round up regardless. Questions on that? If you've been working ahead on your more assignments, you might have gotten some of them wrong because you weren't rounding up your loan payments. Okay. We already went over the schedule. We already went over the review session. So this is what we're going to do today is loans. Anybody need the TVM solver in the chat again? I'll put it in there just in case you need it. Okay, there's the TVM solver. And then I'm going to show you the new formulas. And here's the handout for today. So the handout for today is here. Some of you might have been reviewing our old slides and you can see that my answer key is always in the coffee cup. Okay. And then I'm going to show you one more. I'm going to give you one more link, and this is to just the loan formulas. Okay. I'm going to show them to you on the screen, but I just want to make sure you have access to all those electronic documents. I got a new webcam. Don't know if you can tell, but I'm super happy because now I can stand up and teach. So hooray me. I don't know why I didn't buy it a long time ago. Because I'm crazy. Because it was not that expensive. So here's our formulas. On the left is the formula if we are trying to figure out how much we can afford. So if we're looking for how much of a car can I buy or something like that, right? Or a house, what's the highest amount I can buy if I know my payment, right? So like I know that I want to only pay $250 a month for my car. How much would I be able, how expensive of a car would I be able to buy? And then you use this one if you're trying to calculate your payment. Let's say this is what you would use for your car project, right? Because they're going to tell you how much the car costs. That's P. You're going to figure out what interest rate and what loan term you want. And then you're going to calculate your payment. Do not use an online loan calculator. You will not get the same answer. And I need to see your mathematics or your TVM solver. I do not want you to use a loan calculator when you do your car project, okay? It won't give you an accurate answer. All right, so here's the first one on our handout. First, let's make sure we know which formula we would use, and then we'll talk about TVM versus formula, okay? So it says Marie can afford a $250 per month car payment. She can get a loan at 7% interest for 5 years. So when I read through this, I highlight the things I know, and then I figure out how I would set it up in either the TVM solver or the formula. So if we know this, which formula would we use? Would we use the formula principal or the formula for payment? Yep, we would use the formula for principal. How do you know that, Haley? Yeah, because it says the payment in the problem. If I have the payment, I don't need to solve for it. So if you're using the TVM solver, the first thing that comes up is capital N. What would our capital N be in this case? $60, very nice. And we get 60 because we do 12 times 5. You probably TV for this car for 60 months, right? That's 5 years. Okay, so that's what that is. If you're using the formula, lowercase n is going to be 12, t is going to be 5, r is going to be 0.07. Over here, I is going to be 7. And then what comes next on our TVM? Oops. Then PV, which is what we don't know. That's what we are looking for. So that's the one we're going to solve for. And then payment, be sure to put it in as negative 250. What do you think FV is supposed to be in this problem? We want to pay off our loan. Very nice. We want to pay off our loan, so it's going to be 0. And then PY and CY are both going to be 12. All right. So calculate A and then do B and C. And we'll talk in just a minute. You can privately chat me the answer if you want when you're done. Or you could tell me your favorite ice cream when you're done, either way. All right. So I'm getting a lot of answers. I'm getting a lot of ice cream like that too. Appreciate it a lot. Is there anybody in here who doesn't like ice cream? Somebody in my last class said they don't like ice cream. And I was like, not sure you're going to make it in life if you don't like ice cream. I'm just kidding. But I do love ice cream. Okay. So let's take a look at our answers on these and make sure if you have any questions. Ooh, mint chocolate chip, love it. Jose, yes, Corinne. Okay, so $12,625.50 is the car she can afford if she's making payments of $250 a month for 6 months at a 7% interest rate. Anyone have questions on how we got that? If you look at my slide, sorry, I don't know what's happening to my voice. Here's my TVM solver over here, and here's my formula at the bottom. I got the same answer. I did use Desmos on my calculator version. So after class, if you want to review my slides, you can see both the TVM solver or the formula, so you can compare if you're struggling. Part B, a lot of people get wrong. So part B, you had to do 250 times 60 months, or you could do 250 times 12 times 5. Either way, but you'll end up paying $15,000 for the car. Pay more than the purchase price of your car because you financed it over 5 years. Does that make sense? So the longer you finance the car, the lower your payments will be, but the more interest you will pay. Yes? So if you're paying cash, you're saving all this money in interest that we see right here. If we take the $15,000 that we actually pay our loan company and subtract off the $12,625.50, what we financed, then we paid in interest was $2,374.50. Any questions on that? You guys okay? All right. So you guys try this one, and I'll just call on random people or volunteers to see if you get these answers right. So this time we're doing $700 a month on our mortgage payment, and we're getting a loan for 5% interest for 30 years. Eye-opening for you to see how much money you pay in interest if you actually have a 30-year loan and pay it, take that whole 30 years to pay it. So try. By the way, if you're confused or struggling, make sure you chat me and ask me a question, or just ask it out loud. That's fine.
Is n going to be 30 times 12?
Yeah, it's going to be 30 times 12 because you're making 360 payments.
Okay.
Some people are chatty, some people are not. Cheyenne did a great job. Haley did a great job. Jose did a great job. That's about all I got. Morgan, yes. So I'll write down what you should do on this one.
I have a question.
Yes, I'm ready.
Is the total money that we pay supposed to be more than the loan?
Absolutely. Yeah, because they're charging you interest, right? Yep, they're charging you interest for that. So Derek, yes, you're correct. Nathan, you're correct. Matt, correct. Jayla, you're correct, except for the cents on A and C. I think you rounded on A when you didn't have to. Dries, yes, except for I need those cents on that last one, C. Frida, yes. Laura, yes. Alyssa, yes. Gino, yes. Okay, so on the TVM, your N, whoops, your N is going to be 360 because it is 12 times 30. Your I is going to be 5%. Your PV is what we're looking for, so we don't know that. Your payment is going to be negative 700 because that's how much comes out of my account each month. And then FV should set to 0 because we're paying off the loan. Okay, we want to pay off the loan. And then PY and CY are both 12. Okay, so Jessica, your part B is a little weird, but everything else looks good. So it looks like a lot of people are having trouble with part B. So on part A, most people got $130,397.13. Okay. On part B, how do I figure that out? How much money will you pay the loan company? How do you figure that part out? Do you know? There you go. Thank you, Haley. $700 a month. So $700 times 12 months times 30 years. You have to do all of those, or you can multiply 700 times 360 because you make 360 payments. So that would be $252,000. Now, I want you to put this in perspective. Very nice, Melanie. So you bought a house that only cost $130,000 and some odd dollars, but you actually paid $252,000 for that house if you keep it for 30 years. So in interest, you will take $252,000 minus $130,397.13. So you will end up paying $121,602.87 in interest. You could almost buy 2 houses, right? Yeah, if you finance for 30 years, you're going to pay about double for your house. And they tell you that when you get your loan. They tell you on your loan docs, right, how much you pay. I know it's shocking. So I'm not saying don't buy a house. Yeah, So that's why 15-year mortgages are better, right? Because you could do it right here with this, figure what this would be with a 15-year mortgage, and you'll see your interest will come down a whole bunch, right? So, but you have to pay a higher payment, you just pay less interest, right? So you have to be careful with that. The other thing you can do is you can get a 30-year loan to get the payment that you want, but then they recommend, or someone like a math person would recommend you make one extra payment a year. And if you make one extra payment a year, you will cut off a bunch of interest. Okay, because if you make one extra payment, that all goes to principal. And so you'll be cutting off a lot. And we'll do an amortization table tomorrow, so you'll see how it breaks down. Yeah, there are people who save up for a long time and pay it all in cash, which is a little bizarre. I don't think buying a house is a terrible thing to do. You just have to buy at the right time, look at the interest rates, and choose a loan that you can pay, right? Because a lot of people don't even keep their houses for 30 years, right? After 5 years, say maybe you buy a smaller house. Then after 5 years that has equity in it, the market has gone, you sell your house, you're able to upgrade into a higher house. So you can decide those things, but now you know how to do it. And again, I have my TVM solver and my formula there so you can follow along. All right, let's look at a car one, but this time our car has a down payment. Okay, our car has a down payment. So we're gonna buy a $28,000 car. We're gonna make a 10% down payment, and then we're gonna finance the rest of it. But look at this interest rate. We got a nice interest rate, only 2%, right? And it's for 4 years, 48 months. And this time it says, what are your monthly payments? So if you're using a formula, you're going to use the one that says PMT equals, because we're looking for our payment. If you're using TVM, we would have our N. What's our N in this case? $48. Thank you, Laura and Alyssa. 48 months, because it tells you right here. 48 months is 4 times 12. Okay. Our interest rate is 2%. Our PV, we know this time, but do I know it yet? I don't want to put $28,000 in there yet because I didn't do my down payment yet. Okay, so we're going to leave this for just a second, and we're going to say, okay, 28,000. I want to find 10% of 28,000. What is that? Yeah, nice, easy math, right? So it's $2,800. So now to find out how much I actually finance, I have to take the cost of $28,000, subtract off the $2,800, and that's the amount I actually finance. Does everybody understand? The down payment is something I'm paying up front. So it's going to go away from the cost of my vehicle because I already paid it. So it's going to be $25,200. This is how much my loan is for. So that's what I'm going to put in for V. So I took the cost of the vehicle, subtracted the down payment, and got my amount financed. So then PMT is what I'm looking for. So that's what I'm looking for. And then FV is going to be 0, PY and CY are both going to be 12. So as long as you can plug into a formula correctly or push the buttons right on your calculator, the only thing that messes people up on this problem is that down payment part. So yes, so the payment is going to be $546.72. So that would be a car. There you go. There's all my work. A car that's $28,000 where I'm only financing $25,200 at 2% for 4 years. What's nice about this is you can change these variables really easily in your TVM solver. So you can say, what if I do 60 months instead of 48 months? How does that change my payment? How does that change my interest, right? Or what if I put down more money or less money? Okay. Any questions on how to do this one? Okay, good. You're going to do the next one. Lynn bought a $300,000 house. She paid 10% as a down payment. She financed the rest at 6% for 30 years. So do part A and part B, and you can privately chat me when you're ready. All right, a lot of answers are coming in. So that's good. Let's talk it through. The first thing you had to do was figure out your down payment. Somebody tell me what your down payment was.
30,000.
Yeah, $30,000, because if you do $300,000 times 10%, you're going to get $30,000. So then put $30,000 down on her house before she financed. So what that means is she only financed $270,000. Okay. So that's what you put in for your PV, okay, or your principal amount. Did everybody find their mistake? So you should have gotten for your monthly payment, you should have gotten $1,618.79. Okay. And we had to round up because it's a payment, even if the number on the right wasn't there, right? I mean, wasn't, what is it? Wasn't 4 or something? 6, it was a 6, I think. Okay, now part B, I'm having a lot of people get the wrong answer to. It asks for the interest, okay? That's what it wants to know. So first we know she financed $270,000. We also know she made payments of $1,618.79. How many of those payments did Lynn make, or will she have made over 30 years?
360.
Yeah, 300. Yeah, 360, because we have to do times 12 times 30, or we can do times 360. It doesn't matter. So the amount that she paid was $582,764.40. But that's not her interest. That's the total of her payments. How do I find interest?
You subtract 270,000.
Very nice. I take that $582,764.40 and I subtract off 270,000, and I get that she paid $312,764.40 in interest. Yikes, right? That's a lot of money in interest. That's a lot of money. So do you see how there's multiple steps to these problems? So, but if you're stuck or you're struggling, I'll post those slides right after, and you can see I have the TBM, I have the formula, but also I have all the work written out so you can see it. Okay? On all of those. Okay. The next part is where you find the payment instead. Just don't forget to round. And then, so there's 2 questions that we won't have time to get to, number 5 and number 6. Number 6 is a little bit difficult, and it's going to lead us to what we're doing tomorrow, which are amortization table. Okay, so we won't have time to do those, but again, you can review my slides and see everything that we're doing in there. So make sure you start on your homework today, because you also have your review. You don't want to get too far behind, right? And I'll make sure I publish that final exam stuff for you. I'm going to put the ticket at, so you have it and you have time to do it. There you go. If you have any questions, concerns, anything like, otherwise I will get that stuff in the for you, and I'll be here if you have any questions for a few minutes.